Oh my goodness, y'all. It is hard to believe that yesterday was such a beautiful day. High was 79 degrees, and today only getting to 63. Can you believe it? 63. I know I shouldn't be complaining because a lot of you have a lot colder than that, but for us here in Arizona with thin blood, 63 is chilly. Well, let's go see what these ladies are up to this morning. Today is the day of the big Desert Homestead Collab, and I can't wait to start answering some of the questions. And thanks again to Homestead Witchery for inviting us. We really appreciate it. Hey everybody, what's up this morning? Mr. Cocoa Puff, look at you. What's her? What? Oh, you're getting to be more talkative. Liking the camera? The camera loves you, sir. Yes, it does. You are so handsome. Look at your iridescent feathers. Oh my goodness. Hey ladies, what's up? How's it going? Hey Maybelline, always looking good, girl. Always looking good. How are you all doing? Yes, I am coming in. I will be in there momentarily, Princess Leia, to give you food. Yes. How you doing, Lula? Girl, you looking good too. Everybody looks so good. Egg Latina, how are you doing back in the background? Yes, okay, I can't see you right now, but I know everyone's doing good. Hey, Zeusy, you came out to say hey? Okay, Zeusy came out to say hey. Check on his flock too. All right, I'm getting ready to come in there. Calm down, calm down. I can see they are definitely ready for some breakfast. Really? Oh, see, you can tell when they're super hungry. They're up here giving me the old, oh, we love you audience thing going on, you know what I'm saying? But yesterday, when hubby gave you a little treaty treat, you didn't have anything to say to me. I see how it goes. I see what you truly love. Oh, a little piece of corn in the feed. Oh, how cute, one piece. Okay, I'm gonna give you some because I'm not gonna get in there otherwise. Right, Zeusy, we can't get in there without giving these ladies a little something to kind of move them back away from the entrance. And it just has to be a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little sprinklings there, just to, Zeus, you don't have to eat it really, it's not for you. Just to kind of give me a break so I can actually get in. If I hurry, sometimes I can get in before they get too cray-cray. Oh, what's happening? Oh, what's on? Oh, I made it. I made it, y'all. Woo! Yes. Okay, ladies, calm down. Mind your manners. Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. All right, now, calm down. Get back up. Oh, wait. All right. I'm getting it. Wow. I'll act like if you had hands, you'd dish it up yourself. Oh, sorry. Was that your foot? My bad. I need to get in there. Excuse me. Yes, they are fed on a regular basis, if you're wondering. Every day. And they act like that. Wow. Ladies. Yeah, whoever wants to come over to this one, come on over. Less waiting. Oh, we got some eggs up here. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you. Nice. We got a couple over here as well. Oh, yeah. Well, that one's way back there. Oh, got it. Oh, there we go. All right. Very nice, ladies. Beautiful. Thank you. Enjoy. Yes, I know. The high today, only 63. A little windy. Yes, supposed to be some gusts of wind. So hang in there. You'll do fine. See you later. Hey gentlemen, how's it going? You guys look like you're completely out of feed over there. Whoops, dropping the bag. Completely out of feed in there. Yes, yes, I'm coming in. Trying to grab this bag here. Oh wow, they're okay. All right, I see. It must be oh, it's completely empty. I see what's happening. They're like, yeah, hello. Yep, it's gonna be hard with one hand. Calm down. Oh my goodness, guys, calm down. Gentlemen, really. Oh my goodness. Let me just do this so I can do this. Here we go. That way, you guys can do that, and I can do what I need to do. I'll take that. Okay, there you go. I'm getting it. Calm down. Oh my goodness. Really? It's that bad? Seriously? Just to calm you guys down a little bit here. Oh, a little bit there. Hey, there. Okay. There you go. Excuse me. Comment on our last video was about apple cider vinegar, and I rarely show this, but yeah, we do add apple cider vinegar to our water. I usually do it like every third filling. I don't show it, but I usually add about a tablespoon per gallon. So this is a 7-gallon jug out here, so 7 tablespoons. I just keep it out in this container because I've got a big jug of it and I just pour up some to keep outside. But it's very good for the birds and they do enjoy it. Moving the water jugs was the best thing I've ever done as far as making it more convenient. what's been nice about opening this up is a lot more airflow in here, and the ground is a lot drier. Gentlemen, I'll see you later. Enjoy. You're all set up. Yum, yum, yums. And lots of water. As much as I think that you would all love to see my face just talking constantly about the homestead, I'm going to give you a little tour as we talk about the questions that have been asked on the Desert Homestead Collab. So let's start. We'll go over here in the garden and we'll get it started with a garden tour. But first, the first question, and you saw I had my reading glasses on, so I'm ready. It says, about where am I located? Well, for those of you who know or have been with the channel for a while, we are in Pinal County, outside of Casa Grande, Arizona. We are smack dab in the middle of zones 9A and 9B. So that kind of gives you an idea of the climate here. The next one says, explain what a desert climate is. Okay, for us, the desert climate is, like for most people, extremely dry. The fact that you see all this greenery right here, don't let that be an illusion to you. That we had some fairly decent rain, so you get the weeds. But seriously, as far as the climate here, it is very dry. That is the biggest challenge for us, is obviously keeping the vegetables watered, keeping them moist, especially the ones that prefer a lot of water. So that is one thing that we do have to deal with here in the desert climate. But for us, it's basically extremely dry. This year, they said, was the 5th driest winter that we've had in a while. So that is what we're talking about in our desert climate here, is dryness, and it's a very, the heat is a very dry heat. It's not like moist back east or something like that. No, it's extremely, extremely dry. Okay, our next question. Why did you choose the desert to homestead in? Well, let me just tell you. My husband is born and raised in Arizona, so I happened to be here as I was working in the industry, the semiconductor industry. I was relocated here, and we met and married and so on and so forth. So as far as choosing the desert to homestead in, unlike most people, I did not specifically say, hey, I want to uproot my family and make this big decision to move to the desert to homestead. We actually lived in the desert. We lived in the city of Chandler, which is near the Tempe Mesa Chandler area, Tempe being where ASU is. So we lived in Chandler, Arizona. We enjoyed the area. It was very nice. But as time went on, my hubby came down here to Casa Grande one time, and he said, hey, I went down to Casa Grande, and what do you think about Casa Grande? And I was like, Casa Grande? No. And so he brought me down here a few times, and as we came down, more and more, I thought, okay, it's not that bad. So we ended up purchasing property here. So that's what got us into the desert. I mean, we were already here. We just ended up getting more property. And I have really enjoyed the fact that it is so much more spacious, and I just love it. I really do. So I am definitely happy for that move. It says, what are the pros and cons of homesteading in the desert? Okay, people, we know I just talked about the number one con, but we'll start with the pros. Let's start positive. We'll start with the pros. Okay, the pros are an extremely long growing season. Okay, it's called the Valley of the Sun. Phoenix is called the Valley of the Sun for a reason. Okay, lots and lots of sun. So with that in mind, we have an extremely long growing season, and that is definitely the benefit. I mean, you can get a lot more things grown in our season than you can in other parts of the country. So that is the number one pro for homesteading in the desert. For other people, it may be something else, but for us, I think since we were already here, it is definitely the long growing season, for sure. The number one con, though, for that is also that it's hot. That's how you get the longest growing season. It's extremely, extremely hot. And based on that hot dryness that we just talked about, you're gonna spend some money watering and keeping your things watered. I mean, water is a really big commodity out here. I mean, my garden looks crazy with all these water lines run everywhere. I'm going to try to get that more organized this year. We'll see. But bottom line is you have got to get water to your plants, or they are not going to survive. There's no water bubbling up out of the ground. I've seen that at other homesteads, and I'm like, whoa, did you see that? And my husband's like, he's amazed too. I mean, the water's literally bubbling up out of the ground. No, that's not happening here, okay? So you are going to experience a very long, dry season. It's a long growing season, but it's dry. So you're going to need a lot of water. Now, speaking of that, sure, you're thinking, well, you guys have monsoon season, don't you? Yes, we do have the monsoon season, but also keep in mind with the monsoon season, it just depends on the year. Last year, we didn't really have hardly a monsoon season. It was like I said, it was the 5th driest season. So you can't really rely on monsoons to bring you a lot of moisture, to bring you a lot of water. Okay. Another pro for the garden, pro for the desert climate is aloe vera. Just grows like weeds. If you need aloe vera for anything, my daughter comes out here and makes all kinds of facials and all kinds of things. She gets a cut or something, aloe vera, okay? Woo! Just in abundance. It's just, I'm telling you, it's like a weed. We don't do anything. It's just here. There's another big batch under the other tree over there. So that's definitely one of the pros for homesteading. But that's the pros and the cons, okay? So the pros, longest growing season. Woo! Long time. Con, super hot, dry, high water bill if you don't have some sort of well or something. Okay? What is the biggest city that I've ever lived in? I would say Phoenix, Arizona was the biggest city I ever lived in. I grew up in Colorado, and you're probably thinking, Colorado, that's cold. Yes, it is. But as soon as you get out in the desert and you live a few years, your blood will thin out and you're going to be like, woo, 60 something is going to be cold to you when you grew up in a lot colder than that. So the biggest city I ever lived in was Phoenix, okay? Would I go back if I had the golden opportunity, if I won the lottery or something tomorrow? No, I would not, to answer that question. It had its benefits at the time. I needed to be there at the time. It was part of my journey. I was going through college, and that was what I was doing in the Phoenix area at the time. So would I go back to Phoenix or any other big city like that? I don't think so. I really enjoy my privacy. My neighbors aren't super close. I've got some space. I can do some things, you know. We can, one of the big things we love is aquaponics. We're getting ready to do some more things with that. So no, I don't think I would. I definitely don't think I would move back if given the golden opportunity. Oh, what was my day job? I think I just talked about that earlier. I am a retired electronics engineer. I worked in the semiconductor industry. I installed and maintained reactive ion etchers. That was my day job back in the day. So, and it afforded me lots of opportunities, which I am very grateful for. I got to travel. I got to see all kinds of different parts of the world, and it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Okay, How did you get into the homesteading lifestyle? Let me just tell you, the way we got into homesteading was basically after I retired, I enjoy gardening. As probably most people, they enjoy gardening after they retire, right? I don't know, maybe I just always did. I was always hooked on gardening, and I'm gonna tell you why I was hooked on gardening. Because when I was in like 2nd grade, I was given a cup of dirt and a seed, a little pea seed, and I put that in that dirt, and to my amazement, it grew, and I was hooked. I was hooked on growing things ever since then. So that's, as a result of that, once I retired, I got into gardening, and then now it's more important to have your own food. I can't stress enough all the scary things happening with the E. coli and the romaine lettuce and other things like that. It's getting more and more important, if you can grow any portion of your food, to do so. And that's all I'm trying to do, is just supply my family here with some food. We are on, I didn't state this earlier, we're on approximately 2 acres here. So that's all we're trying to do. You know, we're growing what we eat. We eat lots of collards, we eat lots of radishes, there's the lettuces, you know, cabbage, love cabbage, red cabbage, love red cabbage, green cabbage, and peppers. We adore peppers. We like everything hot. Maybe that's why we're in the desert. We like everything hot. Makes sense. Checks out. Okay, so, the biggest predator in our area? Coyotes. Number 1, coyotes, okay? I have witnessed the coyotes literally just trotting along the roadside. Sometimes you'll see one. Sometimes you'll just see them here and there. You know, we don't really have a problem with it. Why don't we have a problem with it? I don't know if you hear that in the background earlier. I have a big dog. I think if you have dogs are a deterrent to coyotes. Coyotes are not like wolves. People that don't know about coyotes, when you see a coyote looks like a really thin, sickly looking kind of German Shepherd, I guess, because the coyotes probably aren't living off a lot out here, so they're kind of thin, but they're not that big. And so when they come up against a bigger dog or a big dog bark, they don't want to deal with that. That's not what they're trying to deal with. They want to deal with something that's a little bit more easy to deal with. Okay, I have literally seen a coyote trotting into my neighbor's yard right up to the coop, like me heading for the desserts on the buffet line. Okay, seriously, people. And the difference is we have a big dog over here barking, and he was barking when the coyote was trotting through the yard. I opened the door and started yelling, and then of course he took off. But the bottom line is coyotes, and the best way to deter that is dogs. If you have just one dog, you know, Zeus is getting up there in age, but he's got a big bark, and coyotes just don't want to deal with that. They're not that big, okay? So that's our biggest predator out here. And sometimes for some people, it can be the feral cats. I don't deal with that. Once again, we have dogs. Cats are not going to come around here. But for some people, they do have issues with the feral cats. But that's not the biggest predator. For definitely not the biggest. Okay. When people think of the desert, they sometimes think of extreme heat. How do you manage that during the hot months? Extra points if you're off grid. Oh no, I'm not getting the extra points. No, we're not off grid. I applaud those who are, and that is awesome, but we are not off grid here. We are on city water and septic. And so yeah, we're not off grid, and electricity is supplied by APS. So no, we don't get extra points for being off grid. And how we deal with the heat in the summer is basically you just have to keep on keeping on. There's no way to deal with the heat. Sure, people say, oh, just stay inside. I'm trying to grow food out here. I can't stay inside. I've got to come out. You just kind of get used to it. You know, like the other day I was out here, I was like, oh, it's so hot. It was only like 78 degrees, and I was saying it was hot. That seemed hot to me at the time, but once it gets to 100 plus, it's kind of like it's 100 plus. Deal with it. You got to do what you got to do, you know? So that's how we deal with it. We have to keep going. You just get used to it. Okay. I just said we're not off-grid completely or partially, so it's just not something that we're able to do right now on our journey, but something that we'll definitely look at in the future. In your climate, are you able... You're right, Cocoa Puff, that is true. We are not. It says, in your climate, are you able to forage or survive off the land? No. I don't think our neighbors would appreciate us trying to hunt anything out here. Just kidding, no. no, we cannot survive off the land or forage. We are on 2 acres, but there are parcels around us, and it's not like you can go out and do any hunting or anything. And that's what Coco Puff is saying. We cannot do that. Okay. What livestock animals do you think thrive best in the desert? Hubby and I both talked about this, and we agree that it's probably goats and pigs and goats, those two. Chickens do well, but chickens have difficulty with the heat sometimes. You got to make sure they don't get overheated. As many of you know, this hose right here connects to a misting system, okay? So we have misters up here that go across the birds in the summer. That's what that hose is for. So that's how we deal with the extreme heat during the summer as far as the birds go, but definitely goats and pigs probably do better, definitely, because they're much more hardier animals. What animals do you think will fail in the desert and why? A lot of people do rabbits, but I'm going to tell you, rabbits are really susceptible to heat. They don't do well. Well, they don't handle the heat well at all. Chickens do much better, I think, than rabbits. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. Okay. What natural disasters can you have and have you dealt with living in the desert? Well, it's the same thing everyone probably deals with. That's extreme heat. And there are days that we are told that if you're in, have certain, thank you, Coco Puff. If you have certain health conditions, that you should stay inside. It's just too hot. We have lost many a senior citizen over the summer because of the extreme heat. That is the natural disaster that we deal with out here. Okay, some areas, lots of flooding. We don't have a lot of flooding in this area, but some areas during monsoon season deal with flooding, but we don't. So right here, the most challenging thing, once again, extreme heat. Okay, last question. If you choose anywhere to homestead, would you still choose the desert? Why or why not? Well, if I had a choice, ladies, nothing personal, but if we had a choice, I think we'd probably pick somewhere a little cooler. I love the desert, don't get me wrong. And so does Coco Puff. You're right, don't get me wrong, I love it here. This is my home. But sure, a place that had more natural resources, that was a little less heat in the summer, sure, but then you have other pros and cons that come with that. Places with all that water bubbling up out of the land, guess what they have? Lots of mosquitoes. They maybe have lots of pest problems. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I probably wouldn't choose the desert. I would choose an area with more natural resources. And with that being said, do I know where? No, I really don't. But just something with a little more milder climate in the summer and a little more natural resources. Well, that's all the questions we had to answer. Thank you so much, Homestead Witchery, for inviting us. Thank you, Simple Life Reclaimed, for starting and originating this Desert Homestead Collab. I've had a great time answering the questions. I hope you all enjoyed walking along the garden and seeing the areas that we have planted at this time. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And we look forward to future collabs with other homesteaders in our area and in other areas. So, as we end our video, our Homestead Collab video, I agree. She said, as always, be happy, be well, and be blessed. Until next time, bye-bye.